But they'll look this afternoon to their number 8, Samisi Tailua, as we saw in the build-up. He has been a real weapon off the back of the scrum, getting them gain line and a menace around the park in the offload too. Of course, the officials for this afternoon will be John O'Brien, Oliver Hadfield and Kieran Ethorn, his assistants. One of the keys this afternoon, Justin, of course, no crowd here at Forsyth Bar Stadium, will be these players getting fired up and trying to get a bit of passion in their game with no crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. So the challenge is to make sure that you still are able to express yourself. There's no need to go insular. You know, the fact that there's no crowd, and usually the schools are here, they've got great support, lots of volume. You just got to make sure that you go out there and express yourself as you usually would. Play with intent and really go out and enjoy yourself. And look, there's a few smiles on the faces of the players already. They can't wait to get started.
Two of the iconic schools in Dunedin rugby, and Otago Rugby, Kings High School and Otago Boys High School. Wonderful to see them back in a first 15 premiership final. And we're almost set to get underway here.
Okay, cool, thanks. You got a ball?
Got a ball, guys. Ball.
Referee just asking for a ball, Justin. That'd be handy. Get things
Probably
underway.
will need that this afternoon.
Oh, here we are. Just behind you. Are you going left or right?
So it'll be Logan Wilson to get things underway for Kings High School. The ODT Cup is on the line against Otago Boys, who will be the champion in 2020. Wilson sends it high. It's taken down just outside the Otago Boys 22. Bowman feeds us forward for a charge. It's a good exit so far for this Otago Boys side. Running forward there was Duncan. Little dart from Miller. It's there for Bowman. Away to the right he goes. Hurley tries to put a step on Ventura, but they've held them up in the maul here. Gone to ground though, and a turnover. It's a great start, Kings High School.
Yeah, it certainly is. Otago Boys looking to get into their work. Tailoa, as we mentioned, strong runner, did get them over the advantage line. I think there's probably just an opportunity for Hurley to shift the ball. He had a player free on the outside on the wing. He just hesitated and then decided to step. Subsequently, two players get in there, including Bully, the big number 8, and managed to hold him up. So an early opportunity from a scrum for Kings High School.
Well, Kings High School set piece was fantastic in the first game against OBs this season, not so much in the second, so they'll be looking for that today. The likes of Bully to really show his power. Hand feeds, 10-metre mark inside Otago Boys territory.
It's gone round, guys.
We'll go again.
It's gone through the 45, reset. Yeah, all good.
So Palu's just sitting in behind Benjamin Paku.
Crouch!
And they've also got the strong running 12 Ventura to use here. Might be an 8-9, but the scrum needs to be stable.
And it's a penalty to Kings High School.
Over here.
So a chance to take a shot at goal or peel off some metres. It's the call here for Kings. Logan Wilson. Have a pop at the corner.
Let's play on, let's play on.
Ball is not out, and it's a good one too from Otago Boys. It's a mistake from Kings High School. There's a real chance to make some inroads and get some points on the board. They will have the ball outside the 22, but a mistake there from Kings, Justin.
Yeah, it certainly was. He was going for the maximum, though. You got to respect that. He nearly pulled it off, and if he had, there would have been an opportunity for 5-metre line out. Still a chance to launch from short line out here.
Vaingina with the ball for Kings. Kirkman is the target, and they hit him too. Good set-piece move for Kings High School. Away they go in the midfield. They crash over the advantage line, but penalty Otago Boys. It's fantastic work at the breakdown, and they relieve some pressure. That man, Samisi Tailoa.
As in over the ball. Isn't too bad of a set move from the short line out from Kings High School. However, their cleaners were just a little laborious in getting there, and because of that, you can see there the cleaners aren't quite there. They're there in numbers. The Otago Boys loosies, and they turn it over.
McLaughlin, as Otago Boys take their time to get to the line-out. Just got a man in behind first receiver to Otago Boys. What will the move be here? It's moving at the moment. The maul.
Advantage.
And they've got the advantage as well, Otago Boys. So the defending champions with the penalty and a chance to really press inside the Kings half now.
Number 2, side entry.
Well, the Kings High School attempt for touch wasn't out. That one was from
3-2, Kings.
Cam Miller. So a line-out 22 for the champions. Alex McLaughlin throws. He can't find his man. That is there for Kings High School. Hand away to Bully. Big strong run takes them over the 22. Kings looking for the exit play. Carried back in as Wilson bangs it downtown. And it's there with Hurley. Shifts it on to Finau Jr. He gets them up over halfway, but the ball's been lost forward.
Well, that's a couple of very good wins for Kings High School. They found themselves having to defend a line-out, and fascinatingly, Keanu Vanisi, I should say Jay Davis, the open side flanker, who got put at the front of the line-out. He was lifted at the front and managed to steal the ball. From there, they got their kick away through Wilson, and then on the counter-attack, the Otago Boys weren't, again, quick enough, and they win the penalty to be able to go here from scrum.
Set!
So handle feed just on his side of halfway. Great opportunity here for Kings High School to launch an attack.
I just need you to keep your angle square, and you keep your shape as well, okay?
Still no score, 6 gone here at Forsyth Bar Stadium. This is the Premiership final. The defending champions, Otago Boys, Kings High School, looking to cap off what has been a fantastic season.
Wilson and Paku directly in behind the scrum. As we look at it, certainly is on to go to the left if they can get the scrum straight.
Set!
Tane feeds. Oh, it's a bit shoddy, the scrum, but it is away for Kings High School, and Ventura runs straight through the defence, but it's going forward. Well, some real endeavour there from Emmanuel Ventura. Otago Boys have an opportunity now. Down the left they go. It's in the hands of Finn Hurley, and he puts boot to ball. And it's a reasonably good-looking kick too. Tracking back is Logan Wilson. He had Finau Jr. breathing down his neck. He gets it away though to Palu. So Kings trying to make the exit through Ventura. He's banged it straight down the middle of the park. So here come Otago Boys on the counter. Finn Hurley puts a bit of pace on, does the fullback. It's there for Bowman. Well, he was wrestled by Kirkman. And well done from the lock forward for Kings High School. Bully runs straight into his opposite, Tailoa. Hand. Away they come to the left, but intercepted from Cameron Miller. And Otago Boys score the first try.
Well, with every intercept, there's always that risk of whether it's going to be 50-50 gamble, whether you get the intercept or you expose yourself defensively. Cameron Miller, he was the only player there. The pass was certainly on from Logan Wilson. But Miller, being that last defender, he opted to step in and then try and cut it off. You can see him move up. Look at the numbers on the outside. If he misses that, they're in big, big trouble. However, he was aware, he was in the space, he snatched it out of the air, and against the run of play, you'd have to say, Otago Boys go in.
Well, he was a thief in the night, Cameron Miller, and he'll attempt to convert his own try straight in front. He does just that. So early on here at Forsyth Bar Stadium, it's the defending champions Otago Boys through the Cameron Miller try who lead 7-0, and this is just fantastic heads-up play from the number 10. It was on for Kings High School. Cameron Miller.
Well, again, he put himself in the space because he recognised the threat and he had to try and cut it off, but it still wasn't an easy intercept to take. He had to get it above his head, and it was a ripped pass from Wilson.
Wilson restarts. Otago Boys High School just outside the 22. Hagel play half-back away to Tailua. Takes a couple to bring him down. Semisi Tailua.
You're on the wrong side.
And that'll help Otago Boys
Must clear the
cause.
tackle area.
Well, that's just the hard thing when you're a tackler on a big man like Tailua. He always fights very Artie Savia-like on his feet to try and push through that tackle. And if he slightly beats you, then you end up on that wrong side of the breakdown. If you don't roll away quickly or you get pinned, you're always going to get penalised. It's real strength to have to be able to push your way through tackles like Tailua.
Tailua Bully, it's a battle we've looked forward to this afternoon. McLaughlin throws there for Bowman. Way to Miller. Oh, good crash ball run there from that man. Semisi Tailua takes them over the halfway line. Way to Turua. Good phase here for Otago Boys. Miller puts the boot to the ball, and it's well placed. Taking play up inside Kings High School 22.
No, that's bounced out.
For Kings High School. To the back they go. It's a good take by Bully. Hand away to Paku.
Tackle release!
And they've been held up again here, Kings High School, but the tackle was complete. They had to release. Back to Wilson.
Hold.
He sings it high again. And again it goes down to his opposite, Finn Hurley.
Number 4 advancing in front of the kicker. Number 4 advancing.
So that was
You're advancing.
Kirkman offside for Kings High School.
The shot here
and
or
Otago
shot?
Boys,
Shot?
the chance to add 3.
I'm not sure what they were trying to achieve there. Kings, the line out was good. They were into the midfield, but as you can see there, Logan Wilson, who's the kicker, he had no winger chasing. So subsequently, all of his players that were in the middle of the field had nobody to put them onside. The winger had peeled across to the far side, expecting either a second phase before the kick or something else. And so unfortunately, with Wilson being so deep to kick, there was nobody to get those players that were in front of him onside with the winger missing. So an opportunity now for Cameron Miller to make it even worse and sneak 3 more points.
So Cameron Miller outside the 22. Looks pretty good, it is. So 12.5 minutes gone here at Forsyth Bar Stadium. It's Otago Boys who lead 10 points to 0. proceedings underway once more. 12 gone. Otago Boys in front. It's with that man, Tailua. Well, he just shrugs off Kano Vanisi. And they get it away down the right edge, the Otago Boys. Good recycle play at the moment, Bowman. Oh, it was Hurley trying to put the ball through. Here's an opportunity for Kings. Oh!
Options, scramble line out.
But McPate couldn't quite get his hands to it. Bradley McPate, and that could have been the response they needed.
Yeah, it was Ventura, I think, with the charge down. I could see what he was trying to achieve, which is probably the right thing. Yes, it's a bit of a gamble and a 50-50, but if he could just free the space, his player was sweating on him, and he was running the wrong angle. Going in like that, he had only one option, which is to flick out the back door. If he could have found the winger on the outside, they would have gone in.
So defensive line out here for Otago Boys. McLaughlin, oh, he tries to find Tudor at the start, or the front of the line out.
Who's got that, Kieran?
And it's heading towards the touchline here. This is a good drive from Kings High School.
Not forward.
And that's unlucky for the boys in blue.
Oh, well, once again, this tactic of putting Davis up, the open side flanker at the front, and that's the second steal. Well, he didn't steal it, but he got his hands on the ball at exactly the same time. And because of that, he held on to it. When the momentum started going forward, keep your eye on number 7. The ball finally comes free to him. He's short of the line, and just probably a bit of a gamble again. That's 2 gambles in a row. I could see why.
Crouch!
At some stage, they're going to have to get this risk evaluation right. Maybe ball security is a better option.
Sit!
There was a coat of cream resin paint in that. And that'll help Otago Boys.
Angle.
In on the angle.
Number 1, angle.
Was Kings captain Ryan Wingham. So a chance to get out of their 22 here, OBs. You just feel, Justin, that Kings High School can get a bit of phase going, settle into their rhythm, their pattern, get the likes of Bully on the ball over the gain line. They'll be right back in this match.
Yeah, I just think what they need to do is try and nail down a few of the opportunities. They turned down an early 3, remember, to go for touch, didn't find touch. A couple of really 50-50 opportunities here, but you need to nail them in finals.
The claret coming out of the nose of Cam Miller. It's a good take there from Tudor. And great defence from Kings High School. Good staunch tackling from Ikahihifo. It's there for Bowman. To Miller, who sends it downtown. It was taken back, so he couldn't kick it out. It's there for Logan Wilson. And here's a chance for Kings High School on the counter. Paku taking it over the 10-metre mark in their own territory. Hand. Looking for a bit of crash ball here, Kings High School, and they do through Kano Vanisi. Hand again. Oh, and Hand's letting him down. Logan Wilson. Well, they were starting to build some good phase there, Kings High School. And that's unfortunate.
Yeah, look, I think they just, at the moment, just a little edgy, and they just need to calm down. I don't think Hand needed to take steps here. The 3 or 4 steps that he took brought up the defenders. He does look up, Wilson, but if you could see outside, look at those bodies outside him. They certainly had worked enough to get the numbers, but at the moment, they're just trying to finish too quickly. They need to stay patient and calm.
Numbers out to the left here for Otago Boys.
Sit!
3 men out to the right. Which way does Ruben Bowman go? Heads out to the right. And just behind Cam Miller the ball. But he takes on the defence. And Ventura and Co. It's there again for Bowman. Good carry again, Samisi Tailoa. Miller sends it out to the left. This is better play from Otago Boys. Down the left they go. That's Finau Jr. Oh, great tackle. Good cover defence, Kings High School. Bowman calling the troops in. 5 metres out from the Kings High School line. Turoa.
Stay hands and feet. Counter inside.
And good counter from Kings. Driving through is Zalalia and Wingham.
Release!
But it's there again for Bowman.
Advantage offside, 5.
He finds his captain, Jake Deiwi. And they're under advantage, Otago Boys. So they can try something here. Chance their arm. Taleloa 4 Kings players try to bring him to the ground. Bowman out to the right. Here come Otago Boys. Finn Hurley.
Great patience from Otago Boys. Finn Hurley's the man that goes in. He just hit a nice straight line, accelerated through off a good flat pass. The damage was done earlier with the breakout down the left flank, and then as they stayed patient and moved it across, the flat ball to Hurley, he punched onto it nicely, and just too many numbers. And when they needed to stay composed, they did, Otago Boys.
I was playing advantage, yeah. Yeah.
So Cameron Miller, a try and a penalty to his name already this afternoon. And he looks to convert the try scored by Finn Hurley. And he's done it. Cameron Miller. So Otago Boys with a very good lead indeed now. They lead 17 points to 0 over Kings High School.
The Kings now need to regroup big time. They need to stop rushing up in defence, which is exposing them on the outside. Just try and build some pressure in the right part of the field. Get some territory. They really desperately need some points.
Waiting is Tailoa. He takes it well too. To Samisi Tailoa. Inside their 22, Otago Boys. Miller
Hold Otago Boys.
puts his right foot to it.
Now.
And it's taken by Watterson. He sends it away to Ikahihifo. And over the ball, Otago Boys. Fantastic work at the breakdown. Well, they're just getting themselves isolated, Kings High School on attack. And that's wonderful work from Rowan Dines.
Excellent body position from Dines. A classic open side flank, and there nice and quick. You recognise the counter-attack where players are trying to make their way back and get the momentum started again. See how quickly he is there. He's in over the ball, retains his feet, and the key thing was he got on the ball quickly. Effective turnover.
Otago Boys go to the back. They set up the maul. And it looks pretty good too. They're under advantage. Well, when this is done right, it's a nightmare to try and stop, and it's proving to be the case today for Kings High School. Here he comes, Cam Miller, little fend on Ventura. Oh, cleaning it up. Oh, he just lost it. Finn Hurley.
Time off. Just come here. Right, we're going back over here. We had 3 different infringements of that maul. Okay, you've got to be more accurate down here. There's a maul. You can't come in from the side. Okay, it's quite clear. Okay, have a chat.
I agree. You can't give away 3 infringements, but I would have thought advantage was over. Basically, they got stopped in the act of scoring a try. It was only because the player being over the line spilt the ball. That's probably advantage over. And then a warning subsequently. However, they're getting a bit of a double shot in the arm here by the referee, Kings, so they can't really find any luck at the moment in this match because they're still being, you know, this is advantage over now when this player goes in over the line.
Who's that, OBs? Come in.
That was Cameron Moffat. Had the crack at the line. So any guesses what they might try and do here at Otago Boys? Going for the maul, set up the drive, but it is with Kings. On the back of Otago Boys though now, Caleb Hughes. It's been stolen by Jay Davis, so that's fantastic work from the open side. They'll go back for the original infringement.
Well, they need to survive here, and this is where This is Kings I'm talking about. Otago Boys, I would just describe them as being relentless at the moment. Kings are holding on, and they need to hold on. Their captain needs to be sending the right messages, making sure they don't concede anymore at this stage of the game. Stay tough, don't give away penalties, make them earn their points.
Bind!
Well, Otago Boys have spent over 2 minutes inside Kings 22. Kings High School just 30 seconds in Otago Boys. It's a good scrum, though, from Kings, and they get the penalty.
Not staying square, under pressure, not staying square.
So what they did there, Otago Boys, Toloa, they put out into the midfield. You can see him there, he's just about the furthest player right with the headband on, the big man, the number 8. So they took him out of the scrum and put him in the back line. Problem was, they were going to use him out there. The issue was that they couldn't get their scrum right with him missing at the back of the scrum. And Kings High School were able to turn them over. You can see how they've switched around. They put the blind side in the back, Toloa in the back line. Good scrum from Kings, they needed it.
Hold it. You guys can't hang out like that. Show your numbers and come in quickly, please.
23 gone. It's Otago Boys in front, 17 points to 0. You just feel it's a crucial part of the game here for Kings High School to fetch some points before the break. Waangina, he finds Kirkman. And gets it away in the midfield. Oh, just trying to run onto that. I think it was Venisi. It's come back on the side of Otago Boys, so there's another opportunity, and they win the penalty as well.
Well, this is that balance that you've got to get right that I'm trying to sort of describe in terms of the way that the game's flowing at the moment. You know, like at the moment they are operating, Kings High School, with territory of only 24%. And they are down on possession as well, 55 to 45. So when they get the ball, they feel like they need to use it. But from inside their own half, if they turn it over like they did there, then you can equally just concede points. So it's about getting that balance in your game plan right. Like there was the opportunity probably to phase once, not so complicated a move as what they tried, and then kick and try and get some territory to build some points and some pressure. It's not working. They're spilling the ball. They've got their rhythm slightly out at the moment, can't find their mojo, and it's hurting them because this guy, Cameron Miller, is kicking pretty good at the moment, although I've probably just given him my first commentator's curse in quite a while.
We will see. Cameron Miller, 39 out on the angle to make it a 20-point lead, and he has done it. So this wonderful start by Otago Boys continues. And Kings High School now desperate to get some points on the board before the break. Wilson. Waiting down there is Haig. Miller with the clearance. It's not out though. And it's with Watterson. Fired back in. Here's a familiar face. Joji Bully just on the halfway mark. Well, Kings trying to get him involved as much as they can. They come down the left side here through Palu. And he's in touch. Well, that's better from Kings. They just have to string a few more phases together.
Again, though, they turn the ball over. You know, you need to fight harder to stay in play. It was Palu on that left wing who got the ball in a bit of space, and when you get it here and there's a defender coming across, you need to angle back in. He tried to.
Stay, Kings, stay.
So it's there for OB's. Bowman away to Miller. The captain, Jack Tahiwi.
No, it's fine.
Bowman fired back into the 22. Miller puts the right foot to it, and he sends it down.
Advancing.
Into the backfield of Kings, but they get a penalty, Kings High School.
Advancing.
And is this the chance they've been waiting for?
Well, I think they're beyond now trying to just get on the scoreboard and grabbing 3. It is very kickable, not too much of an angle, but I think Captain Logan Wilson will opt, and as he is, he's got the ball in his hands to go for touch. They really need to get back into this game, and they're only going to do that by accumulating in 5s and 7s, I think, rather than 3s.
Well, they have had a great set piece this season, Kings High School. Big part of the reason they're here today. If they can get that going for the remainder of this match, come right back into this contest. Vaingina. Kirkman the target. That's sloppy from Kings High School, but the ball is with them. 7 metres out from the Otago Boys line. And they've got the advantage too.
Offside. Pillars, yep.
Otago Boys caught offside.
Scrum.
I think that's the intent you're after there, Justin. Absolutely, and I actually quite like this option. You've got, again, all the forwards in a confined space. If you can
hold on, guys. Shoelace.
Get a good stable scrum and work a bit of manipulation off the scrum, then it's just as equally as dangerous as kicking for touch. A lot of teams' mindset is just to go for touch. It seems the easy option and go for a line-out drive. Get a good stable scrum. We've got a dangerous number 8 off the back, and Bully is a powerful runner. You can work an 8-9. You can bring the wingers in. Centres with some deception. Lots of options from this position.
So the winger is up for Kings High School. Palu in behind.
Sit.
Paku, Ventura to his right.
Stop, OBs.
It's a good scrum, Otago Boys, and hand. Oh, Messi at the back.
No, he's fine.
They still have it, Kings High School. Well, that was lucky. Vanisi. Gano Vanisi.
Advantage.
Another advantage for Kings. Bully feeds. And he goes himself. Joji Bully looking to get over the ball as Dines. The referee will come back.
Settle. Not rolling.
Well, they just can't find their rhythm at the moment. A real mess at the back of the scrum. The scrum was stable enough, but Tane Hand,
you're listening for my call on that push.
he juggled it 2 or 3 times, bumbled it. He didn't knock it forward, which was the main thing, but they just can't get into the game at the moment. They can't get fluid. They can't get phases together.
Crouch. Bind.
So a carbon copy, this Kings back line of what we just saw.
Steady.
What will the distribution be like this time? It's a better scrum from Kings. Hand, way to Ventura. He finds his number 10, Paku, but he's been in a great tackle. Ollie Haig, I think it was. And some concern here for Ben Paku.
Well, I think that was the fullback, Finn Hurley, and there's not much of him. But he came from the fullback position, which is defending either second to last or last. And he just...
Yeah, he's getting the patch,
he
isn't he?
certainly is. He just dropped his shoulder and it went right into the midsection of Jonah Palu. Little misplay, eyes up, boomfa, in he comes. Look at that. Right on the chest with the shoulder from Finn Hurley. And he's absolutely flattened Benjamin Paku.
Just winded, or is... Yeah.
Well, we often say it, Justin. It's defence that wins your championships, and on that occasion, Kings were threatening, but that's a heck of a tackle from Finn Hurley. We just hope that Ben Paku, he looks okay. He gives Salalia a little high five and he'll head back. But a penalty, Otago Boys, and yet again another opportunity gone begging for Kings. He tried his best here, Logan Wilson, to keep that in, but couldn't quite pull off the Houdini act. 5 to play. in the first half. Otago Boys with a 20-point lead to the front of the lineup. They go. Bowman takes it into contact.
Hold him up, Warner.
Gets back to his feet to play the ball on the 10. And away they go again. Otago Boys getting over the gain line. Bowman, Miller, tugging on the line himself. Tries to work his way past Ikahihifo. Here's for Bowman. Good, strong, surging play from this Otago Boys side. Down the blind they come. They're putting some footwork on. There's Jake Tahiwi, and he finds support. Finau Jr. in there.
No, you're second man. You're second man.
Trying to get over the ball is Vanisi, but Bowman has it. Fires away to the right. Taylor Loa. Cleaned up Miller. Now to Haig. Ollie Haig out to the right. Moffat and back to Ollie Haig. That is a wonderful try to Otago Boys High School.
Easy. Easy, guys.
Well, it certainly is. Again, the ability to stay composed, not to panic. The passes were all at the right time. Again, it was the big man. Initial break through the midfield to Iwi. But when it comes out to Tailoa again, he offloads. Yes, it doesn't go to hand, but it frees the space. He knows there's space out there, so he gets rid of the ball. Nice scoop up from Cameron. And then, as you mentioned, on to Haig, who distributed early, stayed back in support. Some weak defence, but equally some strong attack. And again, they're absolutely relentless at the moment and ruthless when they get a sniff.
We used to watch players like Josh Cronfeld run in support like that down these parts for a long time, and that was copybook flanker play from Ollie Haig. Set up the space and finished it. So Cameron Miller has had a wonderful afternoon here at Forsyth Bar. He's scored 15 points, a try himself, and looking to add a couple more. Miller. He can do no wrong, Cameron Miller. So a couple of minutes left to play in this first half between Kings High School and Otago Boys. It's the defending champions who lead 27-0.
Just remind me to stop in 35 minutes. Just remind me to stop in 35.
Wilson sends it deep. Otago Boys. Good clearance. Thrown in quickly though by Watterson. Back to the left, Wilson. Puts the right foot to it. It's taken though by Hurley. And he returns. Back to Wilson again. Bit of force back here. Infield they come. That's with Watterson again. Watterson in space. Ryan Watterson looking to link up with some support. Oh, what a tackle from Samisi Tailoa. Still there though, hand. Sends it away to Paku. Into the 22 goes Ben Paku. Oh, he's just taken short, no try. Kings High School get on the board just before half-time, and it's scored through Tainhand.
Oh, just when they need it as well. Kings High School really against the run of play, but they launch a counter-attack. He goes through Watterson, and then he runs into Tailoa. Oh, look out, but he stays composed. They manage to recycle, and it's Paku that makes the mini break on the inside like any good halfback. His hand still had plenty of work to do to finish. But a good palm off just to push that last defender away, which gave him some momentum to get back to his feet. And they strike at the right time, King. Still a lot of work to do, but happy just before halftime to get the dot.
Yeah.
Well, a fantastic finish from Tainhand. He has had a great season for this Kings High School side. So we're having an injury break at the moment for Otago Boys. So the kick is good too. And that'll be half-time here at Forsyth Bar Stadium. Ryan Watterson converts the hand try. Kings High School on the board.
Otago Boys.
Cameron Miller gets the second half underway at Forsyth Bar. Oh, and running through. That was Haig again, the try scorer.
And I guess you may find that a bizarre comment when they're 27-7 up, the pressure being on board Otago Boys, but they've put themselves in a position to comfortably win this game. Their thing that they can't do is button off. Kings, they just got to throw caution to the wind. Give it a go. It's a final. Get stuck in, enjoy yourself. Play some rugby, you never know.
Go, get round, get round.
Here come Kings High School outside that 22. And that's with McPate. Bradley McPate.
Wait to be on
Back they go to Wilson. Oh, I don't think he was intending on doing that. Logan Wilson, the bomb. But it is in the hands of Ben Paku. So it worked out well for Kings High School. Hand. Away to Wilson. Down the blind they go. Bully. Out to the left. And a bit of space here for Kings High School. Great cover tackle, though, on Ben Paku. Sorry, it was Emmanuel Ventura. It's there for hand. This is better from Kings. Oh, and coming through was number 13, Cruz Wallace for OBs.
Scrum white.
Well, he must have had his heart in his mouth again, Logan Wilson, the fullback, because, again, he's propped and tried to rip a pass out to the man and shot now Joji Bully, because there was a little bit of space, but by taking steps, he ripped that pass. He threw the intercept in the first half in a similar way. That time the pass was at the feet of Bully, who couldn't hold on to it, so no threat of the intercept, but probably another opportunity missed.
Change for Otago Boys in the second half. Cooper Shepherd is on for Mitch Duncan. And a penalty goes the way of Kings. A welcome one too. And a chance to launch an attack inside the Otago Boys half.
On the 15.
Well, this is a better start, Justin, for Kings High School.
Yeah, certainly is. The scrum has been good for them most of the afternoon. They've managed to get a couple of penalties from having a dominant scrum. Probably something they consider using a little bit more in this second half.
Short line out for Kings, Vangina. Kirkman, again the intended target. Messi. But the advantage applying to Kings, and Tane Hand runs straight into the 22. Here comes the number 9 again, Tane Hand. Oh, he gets it away too. Brilliant play from Tane Hand. Bradley McPate.
Sensational run from Tane Hand. He recognised when he got to the point where he wasn't going to quite make the try line himself. He turned for support. He didn't mean to pass it, I don't think. It possibly even got knocked out of his hands by an Otago Boys player. It's a great run. He beats 2 defenders there. A third one with the palm, a fourth one who can't get to him, and he gets to this point, and it is. I think it's Hurley that dislodges it into the hands of McPate. And over they go, Kings. Sensational from Hand, and at the opportune time, McPate goes in through an error. You would have to call it in terms of a pass, but it was fortuitous, and they need all the luck they can get.
Well, Otago Boys had a hand in the hand assist. So, Ryan Watterson will look to add the extras.
9, you say?
Oh, just off the post.
9 white sub.
So the try goes unconverted. That's a great start to the second half for Kings High School. They now trail 27-12. Otago Boys have a replacement on. Eli Allison for Ruben Bowman. Good shift this afternoon for Bowman.
On the ball, Hayes! Get over
Nice aggressive restart, Otago Boys, but it's there for Kings.
Come, Cruz, come!
Bully tried to get them over the game line, but they've gone backwards. So Wilson
Kings hold, wait. Onside now.
trying to clear, but he sent it straight down the throat of Finau Jr. And Hurley puts it in behind the Kings High School defence. Here comes Wilson. He was chased on by Ryan Cameron Moffat. That's good defence.
Hold it. Come on, guys, you were just standing here. Get in.
Great opportunity this for Otago Boys to extend the lead. McLaughlin throws to the back. That's not straight. Lead off there for Kings High School.
Yeah, look, I think if you think back to the Finn Hurley kick into the corner and subsequently the winger getting bundled into touch, just go back a minute and a half before that. It's that exit, the big long pass back to Logan Wilson, where he's, you know, a good 15 metres away from where the breakdown is, and
Yeah, just
he's
stop
really
past
struggling to
receiver.
get some distance on those kicks, so it's
Crouch.
really opening up the counter-attack. I just wonder whether or not
Heads in.
Tane Hand should just do a bit more of that kicking and just balance it up a little bit,
That's
or
an
even
awesome
get
bind.
Paku
You
to
get your
kick,
bind
getting
up.
flat on the other side. At the moment, it's very
what you
predictable.
say.
They're going to it every time, and it's giving the Otago Boys a chance
Number
to
8,
launch
get your
back,
heads
straight
in.
back into them from that exit.
Yep. Crouch. Bind.
Clean exit needed.
Sit.
And waits to feed the scrum. Not bad from Kings High School. There they go again.
No, lead it.
It's been paint crashing into a wall of Otago Boys defence. It's sent down as far as Hurley. He tries to have a dart himself. Finn Hurley down the blind side, puts the chip through.
Count the full.
And it's gone into touch. Well, that was good endeavour from Finn Hurley. Now that had stayed in, Kings High School could have been in all sorts of trouble.
11.
5 and 11 Kings. Time's still off, guys. Right,
So
Kings.
Hughes and Finau Jr.
Time on.
Excuse me, Ikahihifo and Halu coming off for Kings. To the back it goes. The call is not straight, but it is there though for Kings. And Bully smashing into the Otago Boys side outside the 22, but it's on their side now. And here comes Ty Law. A hard man to bring down. Zana Leah trying his best. Wing him in there too.
Let's go on the move, on the move! Get with him, Yuzi, get with him! Get him out of there!
Otago Boys under advantage. Allison, Miller. Tahiwi fires it away to Hurley. He's got Haig outside him. Hurley.
No advantage.
John O'Brien will come back to play the
Got a not rolling
advantage.
penalty on the 15 or an offside in the middle of the field. Which would you rather? Okay. Penalty, offside, backs. Shot.
We'll pretend we didn't hear that. Middle of the field scrum, sir. He's
The whole back
100% said that. You tend to not let you change your mind either. I tell you, this is off the back of what was a very good tackle and turnover from Cameron Miller. He's an absolute handful, Tailoa. to pull down, just pushes away from defenders. But my point is a number 10 that stands up on defence, puts a shot on, and then gets in over the ball. This man here in frame, Cameron Miller, he was the one who got the turnover, then broke away from the ruck, which created the opportunity. He's having a day out, Cameron Miller, for sure.
Right out in front for Cameron Miller. He adds the extra 3. Takes it out to a 30 points to 12 lead for Otago Boys over Kings. Wilson. Cameron Miller with the clearance. Midway, 10-metre mark, 22. Otago Boys territory. And it'll be a line out Kings High School.
This whole time.
Well, with no crowd, there's nobody to throw the ball back when it goes away up in the stand, so we're just waiting for someone to retrieve it. There we go. 4 girls done the job for us.
Mia Vaigina. He throws as far as Keanu Vanisi. Here comes Kings High School, Logan Wilson. And it's in the hands of Otago Boys again, and put through by Moffat. Cameron Moffat tracking back as Parku. He was met by Eli Allison, so Kings High School have scrambled back. Coming through though, Otago Boys with the counter. It's there for Allison. Out to the left. Allison again. Away to Finau Jr. He's just a few metres out. Oh, but lost forward.
Knock on there.
Well, you can't get much closer than that if you're Otago Boys.
And again, turnovers are... just can't find their rhythm into the game. Kings. Turnover, intercept pass again, the break out, the kick, and then subsequently they tried to regroup Kings in phase. And that ruck, they spilt the ball, knocked it on, and provided that opportunity. And for the majority of the afternoon, Otago Boys have capitalised. That's probably one of the only other times that they haven't.
Set!
Huge defensive set piece here for Tane Hand to try and orchestrate. Good scrum, Kings.
14. You've got the penalty. You've got the penalty.
And they get pinged, OBs, for the high tackle. Allison it was, so Logan Wilson a chance to relieve the pressure. That one's not out. So here comes Hurley, gets it away to Finau Jr. Thrown in behind Cameron Miller, cleaned up from Cameron Moffat. And he's driven to ground by Keanu Vanisi, trying to blow through Kings High School. They have done wonderful work. Salalia taking the ball up over halfway. Hand. They come blind. Bradley McPate. He's been strong today in midfield for Kings High School. Hand. Parku. Or Logan Wilson. Feeds it on.
Stay.
Oh, left behind. Cole Kirkman, but cleaned up, and it's still there for Kings. Kirkman again from Hand. Away to McPate, out to the left they come. This is Bully. Joji Bully gets it away now to that man, Nimic Vial. Oh, but a penalty, by the way.
Straight in the side.
And that goes to Otago Boys.
Number 8 not going
Well,
around.
just as Nemec VL looked to be away down the left, after some great work from Bully, it breaks down again for Kings.
And those are the breakdowns that you just need to win. When you've got an open side like Ronan Dines for Otago Boys. This is the excellent work from Logan Wilson to free the space for Bully.
Let's go, boys.
Nemec VL down the touchline, and you can see there the number 8. Whoa, that's a harsh penalty. He just got bumped into that space, and
Right, time on.
that's an unnecessary penalty, and wasn't a penalty, and those are the ones that you don't need going against you when you're trying to fight your way back into a match.
It's a much better passage of play here, though, from Kings. McLaughlin gets it in a clean take. And Otago Boys are going to drive this forward outside the 22, and a penalty
You broke away.
to Kings.
Obstruction.
The maul splintered. And Kings High School with another opportunity to press with the penalty.
On the 5. Yeah.
Ryan Watterson will plug the corner for Kings.
Subs.
As the subs come on, this is a stage, I think, where they need to just sort of be a little less predictable and maybe go off the top here and get into the midfield rather than go for the standard line-out drive.
Angus Fawkes on for Puati Fina Jr. for Otago Boys. To the back it goes for Kings. Cooper Shepherd driving forward, they go here. Kings High School.
Advantage, slowing the ball
They've
down.
got the advantage. Tane Hand is there. Amato tries to drive it forward. He's driven back. Another chance here, though. Taka.
Advantage still.
Salalier it was,
Advantage
excuse me.
offside.
And here come Kings. Waingina close. Try scored.
And Bully gets it. Joji Bully. And at the right time again, they managed to cling on and stay in this game, Kings. They did provide some variation on the line-out. They didn't go to the predictable, which was the line-out drive. And the open side, Jay Davis, went really close. He got right in behind. From there, they had to dig 2 or 3 forwards. But for once, they stayed patient and didn't make the mistake.
All good, thanks.
And eventually, Bully crashes over right next to the upright.
Well, some great reward for Joji Bully today. He's been in everything.
Hey?
It's Ryan Watterson. We'll try and add the extras. And we've got a game on our hands at Forsyth Bar. He does. So Kings High School back in this one. It's now 30 points to 19. Otago Boys lead. Miller with the restart. Paku responds in kind with a clearance of his own. He takes play up toward the halfway line. Well, you get the feeling next try here crucial. 18 to go. Miller, little short pass to Tailua.
Tackle down.
Nevin trying to hold him up. It's
Yeah,
loose.
play on, advantage
And it's on the
offside.
side of
Sorry,
Kings
come
High
on.
School. And here they come.
Advantage over.
Paku down the left, puts the fend on Ben Paku. Oh, he's just out from the Otago Boys line. And what does the referee say?
Then lost 5, scrum 5.
He'll say scrum 5 to Kings.
Well, he had a dig, Paku. I just wonder whether or not he should have passed it and then stayed in support. He nearly made it, though. Pretty much had the momentum going forward. He backed himself, the young man, and good on him. Here's the turnover. Not entirely sure that's legal, but the shift on was good, and he's got 2 players outside him, Park. He pins his ears back.
It's fine.
And to be fair to the young man, the wingers weren't catching up with him, but look who's there, who affects the turnover, Cameron.
Don't put on your shirt, or then I'll have to
As I said, who's having a day out. He managed to get the turnover. Finn Hurley made a bit of a meal of it at the back.
There wasn't much in that for Ben Paku. Some good cover D from Otago Boys. And
come on.
As you said, Justin, Cameron Miller having quite the day here in Dunedin.
If I was looking for somebody who's looked dangerous in that Kings backline, to me it's Ventura. Every time he's got the ball, he's got good footwork. He's just sitting at the back in behind McPate at the moment, alongside the substitute winger, Palu.
Yeah, McVial.
He's the man to get the ball to.
Here they go, Hand feeds it away, Paku out in the midfield. A good chance here for Kings. Oh, good tackle on Ventura. And it's been lost forward. And you can see the frustration on the face of Emmanuel Ventura.
13 white sub. 13 whites.
Well, they tried to work it to him, but it was just a bit laborious. There was nobody really threatening defenders, so when he got the ball deep, there hadn't been enough inside work done to hold up some of those Otago Boys defenders, and he got ball, man, and everything at the same time. Subsequently, couldn't make it work.
Whitehouse, Opitaya Tovia.
Crouch.
Comes on for Otago Boys.
Bind.
The fresh legs coming now for both teams. Oh, good scrum, Kings, but it's there. Off the back foot. Tailoa. Allison. Back to Miller. He's made a good touch too, Cameron Miller.
Starting to play in a better area, though, now, Kings. Couldn't operate in this zone in the first half, but they're getting much more change out of territory in the second half. They just need to try and build pressure on Otago Boys in this zone.
15 to go in the Premiership final. Kings trail by 11. Angina off the back, Messi again for Kings High School, but Davis will clean up, and they'll come down the right, Kings. Back to Davis. Couple of touches for the open side in the movement. Hand looks for runners, little decoy. They come out, they've got good defence.
Offside 4 whites.
And that was Hay.
Number 4. Offside.
But an offside call on Turoa, and Kings will have a chance here to plug the corner.
Bordering on professional foul as well. They had a handful of players on the overlap, did Kings. They'd worked it really well. They took out about 5 or 6 players with one pass. Haig recognised it. He thought they were in all sorts of trouble. You can see he's there. He's on his own. And there's players outside him. He just jumps the gun. And by making the spot tackle, look at the numbers on the outside. Like I said, bordering on professional, he had to do it, got away with it. Yes, a penalty, but I think they could have conceded more than just a penalty.
Ventura, Burley were hanging around. Open side for Kings. Ball on the go to hand. Could have been another try. Angina. Missing line out for Kings High School. And it's been lost forward.
Because they're under pressure. Just scrum. Scrum's inside, guys. Crouch! Bind! Sit!
Allison. Good scrum there, and here comes Miller with another clearance. That's a good find too from the 10. Well, we talked earlier about championships being won with defence, Justin Marshall. But as you've played with in your career, if you've got a handy 10, it can take you a long way, and Cameron Miller is that.
Certainly is. Good and accurate with his touch finding and general kicking in play, goal kicking excellent, turnovers and running games. Got the lot.
Still time for Kings. Vangina, the short line out off the backhand. Well, Kirkman will clean up.
He's in front, offside.
But he's offside. How crucial is this for Otago Boys?
Shot.
Certainly don't think distance is a problem for Cameron Miller. He's got plenty of purchase on his general out-of-hand kicking, but his place kicking have quite comfortably not presented him a problem, even from the touchline distance-wise. So you would think he's not being over-ambitious here, that this is confidently within his capabilities.
Bit of range for Cameron Miller here on the angle 48, out.
Okay, sweet.
When you're going 6 out of 6, you're probably going to back yourself though, aren't you? Particularly when you're the kicker, it's like, yeah, give me a go. Skip, I can get this.
That one has just gone to the right for Cameron Miller. He misses the penalty.
2 Kings sub. 2.
And we have a substitution for Kings High School. Fatai Koloi is on for Vangina.
Just wait.
And a good outing today from Namir Vangina.
Just wait till he leaves. Everyone stay behind.
That time of the match where the fresh legs certainly help Kings High School's cause here.
Stay there.
Back in behind Moffat. Finn Hurley, though, will tidy. He sent it down into the 22, Kings High School. That's with Bully. Watterson sends it downtown. Tailoa, Samisi Tailoa. Down the left he goes. Wonderful run from the number 8, Samisi Tailoa. And some desperate Kings defence.
Well, it was always going to be dangerous when Tailoa got the ball in this much space, gets rid of 2 defenders quite easily, including his opposite Bully, who is no small man himself. But good, courageous defence in the finish from Kings. Might have been McPate that brought him down, either him or Waterston.
It was a brave tackle, for sure. Around the bootlaces on Samisi Tailoa.
Stand up. Right, guys, we've got a few more minutes left. We've got to keep those standards. We've got to have a gap, okay? We're just folding in.
Well, you've watched plenty of first 15 rugby over the years, Justin, and at this stage you can tell the young fellas that'll make that next step in the next year or so, and Samisi Tailoa and Joji Bully for Kings, 2 of those players. They might not be too far away from playing higher honours rugby.
Collapse. Collapse.
So this is the stage of the game where they need to just try and
You just went straight down that time.
build some momentum and pressure in the right area. If they can get themselves within touching distance, Kings, they can just make it a little difficult in the dying stages for Otago Boys to secure this game. Have to be accurate now.
The line-out's been good today for Kings. Koloi with his first throw. He tries to find Kirkman. That is there with Kings.
Backwards.
Oh, cleaned up
Fine.
by Ventura. Tane hand. Down the blind they come, Kings High School. Making the tackle was Whitehouse, Opitaya Tuvia, hand. Paku.
Backs never back onside.
And they've got them for offside again. Does John O'Brien, so taken quickly, Kings.
Advantage not 10.
Salalia, another advantage, not 10. This is the momentum they've been searching for all game. Kirkman, just outside the 10-metre mark, Otago Boys territory. Good phase here, Kings High School. Paku down the right. They've got a man over. Davis is brought to ground in the tackle of Takataka. Oh, good continuity here, Kings High School. Wingham, the captain, took it forward. And they'll come back for the advantage. As the clock ticks down at Forsyth Bar, this is getting tight.
So a short line out has worked quite well for them this afternoon. At this stage, they want to go back to that full line out. Maybe look to drive and then unleash the back line.
Kirkman has been the target all day. There's no jumper there. And not straight the call. Well, it's this execution throughout this game that's really let Kings down when they've had some wonderful opportunities inside the OB's half.
Help, okay? Thanks.
And unfortunately for them, that's an example of another one.
I absolutely agree. I think they've shown plenty of grit and determination. They've fought their way back into this game. But when you think about moments in this game, yeah, the handling errors are around 10, the turnovers are 15. And they're just way too high at important times when they get good territory.
Sit!
Ellison feeds, a bit of pressure from Kings, but it's a Messi Tailoa. Taken down by Vanisi. Pressure coming from Kings. Trying to come through.
I gave you every chance, side entry.
And he's coming from the side.
2 players there, in the side.
And even it was.
Just there.
It's that temptation, Justin. 5 minutes to go in a championship decider. You've got a ruck 20-odd metres out from the Otago Boys line, and you often forget to go through that gate.
Yeah, you just try and everything you possibly can to affect that turnover, to try and get your hands on the ball. It's got to be accurate.
Well, that's on the side of Kings High School. Davis with the take. And he gets them over the advantage line. Tane hand. Well, here's an opportunity for Kings High School. McPate puts the fend on. McPate down the left he goes. They tried to get it back to Viola Pilau. Lost forward. How? Again.
Yep, seen him on.
Kings High School.
Yeah, well, again, look, it's a good break.
Number 1, I think.
From McPate. But at the time, we just need to hold your composure, maybe take the tackle here instead of the 50.
Sorry,
it's probably
3.
been a problem, well, it has been a problem for them all afternoon. There, you can see it, there's the handling errors. You combine that with the turnovers, as mentioned, of 16 turnovers. It's really hurt them this afternoon. Like I said, it's not been their lack of endeavour or will and want to win and be in this contest. It's just been their execution this afternoon that they'll really look back on and go, we just didn't quite get that right.
Yes, time on. Crouch!
Tailoa just asked the referee if that was the real time here at Forsyth Bar.
Sit!
Not long to go on this one as Otago Boys head towards another championship. A little short ball off the back of the scrum to Hiwi. Good carry from the captain, Jake Tahiwi, outside their own 10-metre line. Tailoa, try and stop him if you can down the left. Hurley with a kick through. And behind the Kings defence. Tracking back. It's gone 22. Too far, though, and they'll come back for the 22. Well, they need to throw caution to the wind now, Kings High School.
That's, oh, he offloaded, not the place to kick it was what I was going to say.
Well, they avoided a date with Tailua there, but Kings have it back and trying to make something happen from inside their own 22. Watterson, he's tried hard all day, the right wing for Kings High School. That's a good carry from Kanu Vanisi. Hand finding his forwards and Kaloi. The Otago Boys defence resolute for now. Down the right, McPate. Brought down by Dines and co. And they've got it back. Ronan Dines, fantastic turnover from the open side. Ellison, they've got the advantage too.
Offside.
Wonderful defence, Otago Boys. And a chance to put this one beyond doubt.
Shot. Yeah. You've only got a minute, so we'll have another kick-off.
Well, this is a fantastic performance from Cameron Miller. 20 points for the afternoon. Looks to add 3 more, and he's done it. Cameron Miller. The final minute here at Forsyth Bar, and he's taken it out to a 33 points to 19 lead.
Let's go, boys, one job.
Hasn't gone the required distance.
Eli, push her.
And well, the short kickoff backfires there for Kings.
Go, boys.
As we tick towards full time, there is the final hooter. John O'Brien says we'll play the scrum.
Crouch! Bind!
Oh, what a performance from that man on screen. Samisi, Tailua, Ellison gets it back and banged into touch. And Otago Boys High School win the championship in Dunedin.
Well, two sides of the game there. He was one of the better ones. Tane Hand for Kings High School, who really contributed to this game. Probably played out of it in the first half. And Otago Boys High come out the full-time winners, 33 points to 19 over Kings High School.